Hey everyone, welcome back. Dave in History for the Ages here. So, kind of interesting new video. What's up with Greenland? Why does everybody want it? Denmark, Trump, China's interested in it, and a bit of history, right? So, hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave comments, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff to help support my channel. I even have shirts, all that good stuff. But let's get right into it. So Greenland is, of course, the world's largest island. To give you perspective, it is about 3 times the size of Texas and has today about 60,000 people living in it, which is a really tiny, small mid-sized city, I guess you could say, in the U.S. By today's standards. Technically, it's part of Denmark, but it is autonomous, right? They have kind of their own doing of things. So, what the question is, what's their history like? And then again, why is it so important? Why do people so much desire it for centuries? So the early history, right? There's the group of people there today are the Inuit, and they are kind of the ancestors of guess what you call the Fool culture, going back to 1200 BC. There were just thousands of them there for a long time until the Vikings came in. Eric, of course, Eric the Red comes in around the 10th century. This is where we get the name Greenland. He calls it that as kind of this marketing tactic to make people think, hey, it's nice and green there, which of course it's just ice. And so, yeah, you have this period of time when the Norse folks are there, and they're there from about the 10th century until about the 15th century. And then they kind of just disappear from the region. We're not exactly even sure why they disappeared, what happened. This is during the time of what we call the Little Ice Age period, so it may have made it very hard for anybody to live there. And I have a video on the Little Ice Age, so that could be it. But the Inuit people, they managed to kind of survive and stick around. And, basically today, they are, of the 60,000 people who live in Greenland, the vast, vast majority of the population. So the Viking, the Norsemen, they kind of disappeared, but then it opened the door for someone else to come in. And of course, that was Denmark. So Denmark decided to colonize Greenland around the 18th century, and they kind of come into the region, and it has a lot of natural resources, strategic resources, right? It's there up in the North Atlantic. So they became a formal colony there, but the majority of the people are the more native folks, and they do have autonomy. They are recognized as Danish citizens, full rights in Denmark, and so forth. So Denmark is the power that be that currently controls Greenland. Now, during World War II, this became incredibly important because during World War II, the Nazis wanted to conquer Greenland. The U.S. went in to stop the Nazis from controlling Greenland, and it was, important for a U.S. air base, weather stations, all those things up there. It was very difficult. One of the stories is, of course, the Dorchester, which was a U.S. ship that was sunk. It was about 670 crewmen and civilian members who were sunk and killed when a Nazi torpedo hit the ship. So there were some serious casualties up there during World War II, but it was because the Nazis tried to take it over from Denmark, and the United States came in to help and defend it. So you could see how important it was even back then during World War II for strategic reasons. After the war, the U.S. actually, this is not very many people know this, offered to buy Greenland from Denmark back then. And of course, this is interesting because this is as I'm recording this in the news a bit, and Denmark said, no, thank you. And so then we move on to, of course, the Cold War. And one of the most important things about it is an air base. So in the northern part of Greenland, there's the Thule Air Base, which is very important for a missile warning defense system, right? If you look at an overview map of where Greenland is located, it's not far from Russia and the Soviet Union, and of course, other areas. If any rock missiles are coming in, this is a good place to have it. The other thing, of course, that's a lot in Greenland are resources: gold, zinc, uranium, even oil, right? A lot of fishing. And so there's tremendous amount of resources on a piece of real estate that not that many people live in. And so that makes it desirable as well for a lot of people. So, what about Greenland? What do they think about all this, right? Does Greenland want to be part of Denmark? Do they want to be autonomous? Do they want the what do they want, right? And so the deal is in Greenland, there has been movements to officially break away from Denmark, but the polls are kind of split. Some people are like, yeah, we'll be happy being part of Denmark. We're pretty autonomous. Other people want it full autonomous. But one of the other powers that has a lot of interest in Denmark is China. I'm sorry, in Greenland is China, right? So China wants to move into Greenland, and they want to see control of the island, not necessarily to control the island and make it part of China, but what they do want is the resources, the economic investments in there, ability to extract all the resources that they have there. And so, if China wants it, guess who else wants it? Of course, right? And so this is 2025, the whole news story that's been recently going on that President Trump has come out and said, we want Greenland. The United States wants Greenland. And he's been pretty adamant about it. And, it's the thing is, most people in Greenland don't seem to want this to happen. They don't seem very interested in the United States taking it over. Of course, the motivation for the U.S. is the air base there, which the United States does still control. The U.S. does control the air base still, but all the resources and having more control of the area. Perhaps this is more of trying a strategic direction to try to get China out and to limit China influence inside of Greenland. And so I don't know where this is going to go. I find it hard to believe that, Greenland or Denmark will allow the United States to take Greenland, that the people in Greenland will allow the United States. I get the sense more that the people in Greenland basically want more independence. They don't want to really be part of Denmark so much. They definitely don't want China there. They don't really want the U.S. there. So we'll see where all this goes. But it's an interesting piece of real estate that's mainly, ice, right? But there's a lot of resources underneath it and strategic reasons. And that's the primary reason many folks are always talking about Greenland. All right, well, I hope you found that interesting, learned a few things about the history, about, how it was used during World War II and so forth. And, feel free to share the video if anybody wants a quick, brief history of Greenland. All right, everyone, have a great day. Thank you for watching.